Hello, this is Broyar, and welcome back to another episode of our Let's Play for Football Manager 2021. Continue our Kidderminster Kids series, and today is the end of our first season, beginning of our second season. So we'll do our season review and then go over our transfer special, setting up for the new season. Although, how much transfer special can we really do? We'll find out. Let's get into the episode. All right, here we are, end of season review for the 2020 season of Kidderminster Harriers. The new arrivals: Leon Phillips, 18-year-old young goalkeeper. He had one appearance, 8.10 rating. Okay, fair enough. Still somebody we could potentially develop a little bit, although I don't think he'll ever be worth that much to us. We got Sterling James came in. Obviously, he did pretty good. Jack Barrett's the one I'm most hopeful for because he has a little bit more potential, actually a lot more potential than Phillips up there does. Then of course Darnell Mentis, B-. Of course, he came in, played outstanding for us, although definitely slacked off a little bit. I say slacked off, just got quiet towards the end of the season. So we definitely want to see a better performance from him going into next season. Keziah Martin, Anakin here coming in, another guy that we can get developed at our club. Diaby, another guy I think should be able to develop at our club. Bakari, and Phillips, who did not really do well for us overall, to be fair. So hopefully he picks things up, and we'll see what he can do. And we did pay money for him, but he still has the potential to grow into something. So we'll see what he can do. And then, of course, a few guys that we're going to be getting rid of. Mark apparently came in this offseason, and we didn't do much with him because, you know, we were trying not to play with him very much. Season results. Board is C+. I mean, honestly, that's fair. That's fair. We did get a mid-table finish, so I think this is a fair assessment here. Honestly, things could have been a lot worse. We did start picking things up a little bit towards the end of the season. This real run here, it was just terrible for us. We can never really bounce back from that fully. It is what it is. FA Cup, not great. We got knocked out, I think, a round earlier, didn't we? And when us to reach the first round, we got knocked out in the fourth qualifying round, so we didn't actually make the first round proper. Then the FA Trophy, we wanted to reach the second round. We actually reached the fourth round. So I think we did a little bit better than that one overall. But moments to remember. Biggest win was our win against Tring, apparently. A 3-0 win there. Match to remember, win against Chester here. Goal of the season came from Mr. Sterling James against Spennymoor. I think this was late in the season, wasn't it? Yeah, this was actually one of the last ones. In fact, we saw this last episode. So definitely good stuff there. Finances, I mean, nothing changed with the reputation or anything like that. Our financial situation, I mean, from previous season, obviously has gone up because there's nothing to say about it. Shirts sold, we got some shirts from Sterling, Mentis, Hemmings, Maxwell, and Kellerman. So good to see that overall. How we lined up, I guess the way we lined up the most was the 4-3-3 DM wide, which possibly is our most successful formation. Obviously, we experimented with a few other formations towards the end of the season, but ultimately, maybe this was the one we should have stuck with. I don't know. Hard to say. We did get some results towards the end of the season, so it's really hard to say. We'll definitely take a look at each of the formations during the offseason and see what kind of players we can get to develop towards that. Fans player of the season, of course, Darnell Mentis makes sense. Young player of the season, Jack Barrett, our goalkeeper. Signing of the season was Diaby. Interesting. I'm kind of surprised to see that. Goal of the season came from Sterling James. Top goal scorer was Mentis with 19 goals. We definitely want to see him get a lot more than that this next season. Most assists was Hemmings. Most player of the match awards was Mentis. Highest overall rating, average rating I should say, was Sterling James with a 7.0, and most passes competed was Montrose. So not too bad overall. Record breakers, we had a few record breakers here. Obviously Mentis picking up a few things that broke a few records for us, which was good to see. All right, that is that for that season preview. Let's see anything else we want to look at here. Overall, quiet and leaky defense, sounds about right, and a aggressive, wasteful offense. Again, sounds about right. We had an XG of 51.9, actual goals 51, so pretty close. X points of 67.8, actual points 55, so we're definitely way underachieved there. X points position would have been 5th, actual position was 13th. I definitely think we should have played better, should have done better than we actually ended up doing, but it is what it is. I mean, you only play the games in front of you, right? Club vision and expectations meeting. My contract expires this next season, this next season. We are going to have a projection of a mid-table finish. They apparently want us to repair the club's financial damage, which I guess it was a bit of financial damage, but we stayed within our wage budget. So we'll see what we can do with that. And then once we start getting top path finishes, getting to the playoffs, et cetera, et cetera. So they want us to play possession attacking football like we did this time. They wants to continue to develop players using the club's youth system, which obviously is part of the plan. If we had some money, I would ask for advancement of our youth club stuff, but unfortunately that's not the case. Pretty good managerial support, although the dressing room atmosphere overall is not great. We do have a couple of players that are very grumpy right now, so we'll see what we can do with those. Let's see here. So we're going to aim for a mid-table finish. It seems like the team is happy with that. Although secretly, I say secretly, I'll let you guys know, I definitely would prefer a much better finish than that. I'll do the promises later. Doing the promises later sounds very promising, apparently. So we'll go with that. And new season team report. I mean, some guys starting to develop. Like I said, Mentis did pretty good. White did pretty good. Simpson's still in here, but we'll see what we can get going into this next season as we try to get a few more players. If we offload some of these high value, high dollar, older players, then we'll be able to get a lot more of the younger players to see which of them will actually start to succeed and start to develop for us. All right. I think I'm going to go ahead and put a pause in here. Let's see. Anything else we want to look at real quick? 2 sponsorship deals finalized. Okay. We got a little bit more sponsorship money. That's good. New scouting budget. We got a little bit of a scouting budget. Not much. We can possibly pick up a package. Yeah, we can pick up the covers players in your division. So it is what it is. Didn't they used to have 2 different packages for like youth system and regular system? Is that something? Or I just noticed, it just occurred to me that I don't remember even in my other playthrough that I think there's only one package. You don't do this youth system separately. So unless maybe I just in a different spot and I just haven't been looking at it this whole time. I don't know. Board set initial budgets, obviously no transfer budget. I'm not surprised about that. But a slight uptick of our wage budget. Currently we're spending way over our budget because I started getting a couple guys towards the end of the season that I thought we could go ahead and grab leading into this next season. But again, we're going to let go of a bunch of our higher wage players that we're not going to need anymore. Guys like Mark, I mean, huge wage there. And some of these other guys are going to probably be heading along on other ways. So, all right, well, I'll be back when there's some transfer news. We'll find out, see what I can do, see if I can come up with any sort of team that can at least keep us challenging for that mid-table this next season. If I can get a young team that can keep challenging for the mid-table and then continue to develop from there, then in theory, we only get better, right? We'll see. But I'll be back when there's some news. All right, we're back. And as expected, the transfer window went pretty fast. It's not like you can do a whole lot. Bring a couple guys on trial, see if they're potentially any good, and then try and sign them. So, which is what we did. But this is a cool screen to look at, right? I mean, this is exactly what we want to see. A bunch of players homegrown at club here coming up within the next 12 months. Are any of these guys any good? Probably not. But, it is what it is. Some of these guys have some potential. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with these guys. But hey, we've got to have homegrown players at the club to be able to play. And then we can be picky once we actually have a good set of homegrown players at the club first. So that's the plan. We have let go of a bunch of players. If we look at our transfer history, actually, let's go backwards one. Still not going to show it. It doesn't show the outs. Does it show released players? There we go. So obviously we let go of a bunch of players. 2 of our players, Mark and Keith Lowe, retired. Montrose was let go. Moyo, Kellerman, Prosser, Simpson, Arthur, Sterling, James, Stockton. We let go of some good players. I'm not gonna lie. Obviously, that was part of the plan, though, because we had to get some players in to fill those spots. These guys are not homegrown at club. Unfortunately, they don't get to stay. We do have still a few players, though, that are not homegrown at a club that are still on another year of contract. So, I mean, I guess for the sake of just, not being completely, fail, we might have to play a few of those. But I'm going to try and play more and more of our homegrown players as much as we possible. And of course, if we can, I'm going to try and sell those players on that are not going to be homegrown at club if I can. But it's going to be harder, easier said than done. Finance is still looking mostly okay. We're still under budget, so we got potential to sign a few more players. We got a little bit of transfer budget because I lowered the cup bonuses down a little bit. I kept the league bonus the same, but I lowered the cup one down, so that gave us a little bit of money, which I could either just throw into the wage budget, or maybe we could pick up 1 or 2, really good 18 and unders that might fit the bill for us. But as it is, let's go look at our transfers again. So here's the players that we have brought in. Let's actually go back 1 year because a couple of these guys came in at the end of last season, but they technically are for this season. We brought in this Emilio Stavro guy. He comes in 2.5-star current ability, potentially as high as 5. We know for sure 4, but could be as high as 5. Central defender. Again, we're going to see what he can do. I don't know if there's any point in looking at history for any of these players because unlikely that any of these guys have played. So we'll just look at their stats. Here's another guy. He can play on attacking midfield. He can play normal midfield. He can play on the left or the right. Could potentially be trained as a striker or a left fielder, but probably going to play in this attacking midfield on the right spot with an occasional transition over to the left side as well. 2.5-star current ability. Again, we know you can be as high as 4-star. Could be even as high as 5-star if everything worked out amazing for us. So that's the 2 players we brought in at the end of last season that technically came in on, I think, transfer day. We then brought in these guys so far. I'm being a little picky. I'm only bringing guys that are at least 2-star current ability and then 5-star white or not, even if it's got the white on there, which we know the white means it's not 100% guaranteed, but it needs to be at least 5-star with that as well. So we brought in this guy. This guy, not bad. 3.5-star current ability. Could be as high as 5-star. Can play on that attacking left side or just regular midfielder left. So we'll see. We'll see what he can turn into. Another good 18-year-old. I think he's going to be good for us. We brought in Jason Sraha here. Solid 3-star player. Current ability. Could be, again, as high as 5-star. Pattern here. Could play in the left. Could play in the middle. Could technically push up a bit as a wingback. But we'll probably play him on this left-hand side, especially since we got rid of our loaney guys. One of them being, what was it? Richards? Oh, wow. I just forgot their names. Obviously, I wasn't beginning to attach to my guys that I knew were going to leave. So he comes in here. Garcia comes in. He can play all across the attacking side, which is great. We definitely need that. Inverted winger, inside forward. Those are actually 2 of the positions we're going to be looking at, as well as striker. Solid 3.5-star current ability. Could be as high as 5-star. Again, a good player, I think, for us. Polak comes in here. Current ability 3-star, potential 5-star. Striker is all he does at the moment. We'll see what else we can develop into, but that's fine. We need other strikers. We got to have backups. We got to have people that can fill in spots. Whatever we got to do. One thing I will say is that the ratings here, take them with a grain of salt, because if we got rid of a bunch of our really good players, I mean, the rating average of our team is going to be quite a bit lower, which means these guys are probably going to, these guys might be showing up a little bit better than they actually are. Who knows? We'll find out as we get into things. Gittery comes in here, 3-star current ability, could be as high as 5-star. Again, could play on the left or the right, which is great to see. Somebody who's a little bit of flexibility is good for us. But again, wingbacks, fullbacks, things like that are usually hard to get. Speaking of, another guy, 2.5-star current ability, could be as high as 5-star. Another fullback on that left-hand side. Got a couple more guys that I'm looking at trying to bring in, but here is our squad depth so far. If we go to the position that we're probably going to be playing, we're going to probably play this 4-2-3-1. That is the goal, at least. And here is how we line up. I mean, if we take into account the fact that with our good players, Mintis was showing up as a 4-star player. Not bad. Not bad. We're getting some decent players here. At least it looks like it. You can see this Ben Woods guy in here. I might be signing him, especially since he's shown up as our second best midfielder. Actually, you know what? We are going to sign this guy. If he's going to show up as our second best midfielder, which take that with a grain of salt again. But actually, no, let's check something real quick. Who is our best coach for player current ability? Parnaby or O'Connor? Parnaby or O'Connor? Let's go look at that then. Okay, Barnaby's already in there. So, I mean, 10's not great, but he is the best we've got. So yeah, no, we're going to sign Ben Woods here. If he's showing up as potentially our second best, then, oh no, we already offered him the contract. Got it, guys. Got it. I'm on this. I got this, guys. But here's how we probably line up. Mint is probably our primary striker. Garcia, a very solid backup, although he can also play on this right-hand side. Sam Austin can play on the right. Although, again, Sam Austin, who is not going to be a homegrown at club player, we need to move on. We need to move on. We have other players that can play in that spot, so we're going to transfer list him. And we're actually going to offer him out right away. Transfer offer to clubs. Ooh, if we get 10K for him, that would be amazing. Push him out for the full amount here. See what we get back from him. Anybody else that we need to move on? Jaden White can stay. Maxwell needs to move on, right? Or is he the one that one of our older guys is? Nope, he's homegrown at club. So we're good. Maxwell gets to stay as long as he wants to stay, which is awesome. He's our best midfielder. So that's good. We actually have a homegrown at club guy who is really strong and is going to have a lot of experience behind him. He actually is our best central defender. This guy can play all over the place. But yeah, I mean, overall, not bad. Let's see, Alex Penny, where's he at? Oh, he's got to move on. Sorry, Alex. You got to go. Adios, my friend. Transfer status, transfer listed. I don't care. We'll persuade you. I'm not going to find a place for you in my squad. Okay, it's just a courtesy. I mean, we're going to upset some guys, but that's life. It's the way it is. I mean, I guess I could keep him and try to just let him move on later. Oh, let's come on, let's get up to the 5.25K. We'll get him offered out and see if we can get anything for any of these guys. Anybody else that really needs to move on? I think most of these other guys are actually in the right age group. We can definitely look at that here. Go look at our squad. Go look at homegrown status with the age on there. Ashley Hemmings. Oh yeah, Ashley Hemmings probably needs to move on, doesn't he? Poor Ashley. Let's go in here. We'll do a couple transfer status things. Transfer listed. I mean, you're gonna. Sorry, I'm not gonna find a place for you. Just a courtesy. We're gonna make some guys angry. Oh, it's so funny. That's all right. Once they move on, then all life will be okay. Offer to clubs. 10. I mean, if we get 10.5K for this guy, that would be amazing. I don't think we're getting even close to that. I don't think we're getting anything for this guy. But I'll go through the rest of these later. But yeah, we'll have to look at some of these that are over 21 and see if any of them need to moved on. Looks like Maxwell's trained at club. Palmer's trained at club. Fremantle is trained at club. That is awesome. Actually, Fremantle is not an amazing player, but he's got a lot of potential. So you never know. He's actually trained at both Walsall and Kidderminster. That works. Well, I went the wrong way. So we do have a few guys that train at club. Just these top three, Hemmings, Austin, and Penny, need to skedaddle here. So we'll see what we can get for them and go from there. But not bad. And a lot of these guys down here that are going to be trained at club, that is great to see. That is exactly what we need to see. So I think we've got a decent team. What does the media propose or predict we will be at? Go here. Go to season preview. Fifth with the squad we have. Okay. Maybe this is working out, guys. Maxwell's in here, which again, he's the guy that we get to keep. Mentis is in here. Awesome. I love that Mentis has developed so well. That's only two we see in the key player list, but hey, it's a start, right? It is a start in the right direction. But no, I'm happy with this. If we got fifth, I would be ecstatic if we got fifth. Because that puts us in the playoffs. We have a chance to get promoted. Are we ready to get promoted? I don't know. But if we play well this season and we get some of these youngsters to develop over the course of the season, sure, let's go. Let's go up right now, right here, right now. You know what I mean? So I think that would be fun to play with. But yeah, there we go. I mean, we didn't play a whole lot of friendlies, but, you know, decent. A few results here and there. We're at least scoring a lot of these games. And again, here's the tactic we're going to be playing. This 4-2-3-1. It's kind of a custom tiki-taka. So definitely be playing some inside forwards, inverted wingers, advanced forward with Mentis here. But yeah, that's basically the idea of the formation. We'll see what it does for us this season and see if we can get some more of these guys to continue to develop over time. But again, the first game up is today. First game we can play is going to be against Guiseley with a game following up. Oh, I'm sorry. No, first game up is against Hereford here with this next game against Guiseley. I'm excited to start this next season. I think this season is going to be a lot of fun because we're going to see a lot more of these youngsters start to develop. If we get a bunch more Mentis developed level development out of these youngsters, I think we're going to have a really solid team for years to come if we can keep them. That's the other thing. Got to be able to keep them, right? So we will see. But hopefully you guys are looking forward to this next season as much as I am. Again, the first season was just get in there, get our feet wet, and see what we can do. This season is really where the rubber hits the road, if you will, to really start pushing up our development as much as possible. And maybe if our finances get a little bit better, they're not super great right now, but if we can get our finances better, I will definitely be starting to try and push up our youth training facilities and things like that. But we got to fix this first. And that part of this might be good enough reason to not really cap out our wage budget if at all possible, and really try to sit on as much money as we can, trying to fix our overall income. So Anyway, we're going to put a cut in there. We'll come back next time with the first 2 games of our second season. But I do appreciate you guys watching. May God bless you, and I hope you join me again next time. Thank you, and goodbye.